Okay, this is the week 5 reading outline. So to start, we're going to talk about Zoom. Okay, so zooming, that is, there's a couple ways that you can do that. The easy way is the scroll bar on your mouse. That's the way I prefer. That is just zooming to um, whatever you select. Kind of inaccurate, no real accuracy to it. The other way is if you type Z on your keyboard, and there's zoom, and then there are all of these various options. Zoom all will zoom out to everything in your drawing. Zoom center will center your view on all of the objects. Dynamic allows you to change it using your cursor or crosshairs. Zoom extents zooms to the extents of either all of your objects drawn or your limits. Zoom previous allows you to go to your previous view, your previous view that you had. Scale allows you to zoom to a specified scale. Zoom window allows you to select a shape to zoom to. And zoom object allows you to zoom to an object. The most common one that I personally use is zoom extents. So yeah, that is zoom. Just to save on time, I am not going to go through each and every one of those, but I will describe them. Feel free to ask me if you have questions on any specific one. The next one is panning. So there is 2 ways that you can pan. There's the easy way and the hard way. We'll start with the hard way. So over here, your navigation bar, there is the little hand, that is pan. So this is the hard way because you would then have to hit escape when you are done panning around. The easier way is if you push down on the little scroll bar on your mouse, you can pan around that way. That is panning. Navigation bar. This is your navigation bar here. It has many different options. There is the zoom option, so it has all of your zoom options here. With the little down arrow, by default, it is set to zoom extents. Then there is orbit, which we would not be using in this course because that is 3D. Then this is show motion, and this is your full navigation wheel. And then steering wheel, this is going to be your steering wheel. So you could grab onto it and you can move around as needed. And then when you are done, you can select, you can click on top and it will bring you, it'll center you to where north would be facing north. So this is north, west, south, and east. And then this is your VIEWCUBE. That is the next thing we're going to talk about. This is your VIEWCUBE. This is if you're dealing with 3D objects, then this is how you can view them. And as you can see, you now have Y going this way, X going this way, and Z going up. But since we are only doing 2D, I am only going to talk about that. So if you somehow get turned around, let's say you select this, and now you're suddenly looking at the back of the object. You can select any one of these arrows until you find top, and then you can use these arrows to rotate, or just select top and it will bring you to the top. That will ensure that you are in the 2D plane. And there you go. That is your VIEWCUBE. So a transparent command is something such as panning and zooming. You can do all of those while you are doing a command. So currently I started the polyline command, and as you can see, I can still use the little scroll bar to zoom in and out. That is what is called a transparent command. And same with panning, if you press down on the scroll bar. And the cool thing about AutoCAD is that you can do both at the same time. Panning, zooming. So that is transparent commands. And now we get into the more complicated stuff. Text styles. So for text styles, we're going to go to the Annotate tab. And these are going to be your text styles. These are the ones that I've already created for this specific template. So let's see. So to create a text style, this little arrow pointing down to the right, you would click on that. It brings up the text style dialog box. And to create a new one, you would create new, and let's call this test. And then you, while you are selecting test, you can go in and change the text style that you would like. It shows you, or the font that you would like. And then it shows you a sample of the font. And when you are working with text styles, if a specific text style is set to have a height within the text style dialog box, so this window here, no matter what you do, whether it's with a line type that has text in it that is set to that text style, or you're just trying to use that text style, the height that you select here is the height that overrides whatever you are doing. So once you select a height here, you cannot change that height. That is going to be the exact height. So my recommendation is always to keep this 0. There are companies and people who do change it, but that is their personal preference. I do not personally recommend doing that. I think that is poor drafting form. So when you are done, you hit apply and close. And now you have created a text style. Next, we're going to talk about multi-line text. This is where you would find multi-line text and then single line text. I will talk about single line text momentarily. So multi-line text is just text that you are able to do. It's a block of text that you are able to do more than one line, whereas single line text only allows you to do one line of text, and it can go on infinitely. Multi-line text, you can specify how wide you want your text to be, and you can adjust it accordingly, and it can have as many lines as you want or as few as you want. That is multi-line text. Single line text is an older form of text before they had come out with multi-line text, but they have kept it around because people do still use it. I do not personally like single line text. It is more complicated to use and doesn't have as many features as multi-line text, but I have to teach it. So single line text is just, as it says, a single line of text that will go on infinitely. Drawing scale and text height. So your drawing scale is right here. That is how you specify your drawing scale. So this is 1 inch equals 1 foot, 1 inch equals 2 feet, and so on. And this would be 2 inches equals 1 foot, 4 inches equals 1 foot, and so on. Then these are the architectural scales. 1/28 of an inch equals 1 foot. Have fun with that one. Okay, so the general, I guess, standard for text height with your drawing scale is 1/10 of the drawing scale. So if you were to have, let's say 1 inch equals 10 feet for your drawing scale, then your text height would be 1. If you have it being 1 inch equals 1 foot, such as I have here, then it would be 0.1. And so on. Just move the decimal place over by 1. Annotative text. Annotative text is very helpful. I use that regularly. When you are creating a text style, you can specify it to be annotative, and then you can specify the paper text height, so how big you would like it to be on paper. So that is annotative text. When you change your scale and you select that you want your annotative text to be 0.1 on the piece of paper, then no matter your scale, it will automatically adjust for you. So by default, AutoCAD always creates an annotative text style. So I'm going to select 1:1 as my drawing scale, draw that, and I will do whatever. And then now I'm going to go down here and I'm going to change to 1:2 scale. And I'll have to go into this and add that to my scale, 1:2. And as you can see, it is larger. And then I will make it smaller. And I will make it larger. So there you go. That is annotative text, and that's what it does. It automatically adjusts to be the paper text height that you specify in the text style dialog box. And it will automatically adjust as long as you have that specified in the text height. And the cool thing about it is that it shows you the other scales that you have, and it will show up on the top right of your crosshair, showing the two little triangular shapes, which those are either architectural or engineering scales. And that will let you know that it is annotative text, and then it will also show you the other annotation scale that you have. But it will allow you to drag this around, and then when you go back, you can see that it is here. It'll do the opposite. So you can move it around. And you can right click. Synchronize multiple scale positions. So now you can see that they're now both in the same spot. That is annotative text. So I'm going to kind of skip around, and I'm going to get rid of the annotative text because I don't want to personally have to look at it right now. So I have my text right there. I'm going to kind of skip ahead really quick, and I'm going to go down to revising text. So to revise text, you can double click on your text, and that will bring up the text editor, and that is an extra tab in your ribbon. So that is how you revise text, and then you can just change it as you so please. And then I will go back to the correct order of things to adding symbols. So adding symbols under this text editor tab in your ribbon, under the insert panel, you will see the symbol button. You click the down arrow. These are some of the common default ones that AutoCAD puts in. The very common one, degrees plus minus diameter, those have some Unicode and specialized things that you can type in to put those in, and AutoCAD will recognize those as such. It will read %D as degrees. So this is adding symbols. If you do not see that, then the symbol that you want, you can press other, and it will bring up the character map dialog box, and there is a whole list of them, whichever you choose or whichever you want. And if you find the one that you want, you select it, then you can select copy, then you can close out of that, and you can do either right click and go to paste, or you can do Control V. And as you can see, it inserted that symbol. So that is adding symbols and spelling. So AutoCAD does have a spell check in it. It is terrible and does not work well at all. So do not trust it to always catch it or spell things correctly, but it is there for basic spelling. So you can click on your text. When AutoCAD notices something or thinks something is spelled incorrectly, it will underline it in red, similarly to Microsoft Word. And you can right click on it and it will give you some options. Or what you can do is right here, there's ABC and then a green check mark, check spelling, entire drawing or current space / layout or selected objects, entire drawing. Press start, and as you can see, it found that that is spelled incorrectly. So that is spelling. We already talked about revising text. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is find and replace. So this will make it easier if I have something that I can actually spell. So I'm going to spell incorrect. Close it. Once you revise text, if you click anywhere else outside of the text, it will close the text editor tab. So find and replace is this right here. This one here. So you can type in your text, so it will find all instances incorrect. It will find all instances of that. So you type in the word that you're looking for, click on that button, and it looks for that, and then it asks if you want to replace it with something, and I will change it with correct, then replace, and it will tell you how many it found and how many were changed. And press done, and as you can see, it is now correct. So that is find and replace and find. And then there is justification. So justification, when you create multi-line text, you can, down here below, you can specify, you can click justify, and there are many options here. I will quickly read them off. There is top left, top center, top right, middle left, middle center, middle right, bottom left, bottom center, bottom right. By default, AutoCAD always does top left, but you can change that justification. So I will do top center and type in random stuff. And when you change your justification, the justification is where the grip would be. So I selected top center, so it is centered on the text and at the top. So middle center would be right here, bottom center would be here, top left is here, middle center, bottom center, top right, top center, or middle right, bottom right. That is justification. To change your justification under properties, right here is justify. Here's a complete list of all of them. And you can change it to whatever you would like. And you can see that it did change it because it is now middle center. And that is change justification. That is the end of week 5.